Hi everyone, I'm Reea. I'm an intuitive empath and a life and relationship coach, and I'm going to do a quick video for you today about 8 ways you can connect with your own higher guidance, your soul, your higher self, your guides. Number 1 way to connect to your higher guidance is by using a pendulum. I'm going to show you my pendulum. You can buy these in any a normal pendulum in any new age store. You can get them online. I've got this one. It's a beautiful pink quartz crystal that I bought in a jewelry store, actually. Well, a jewelry store that sold lots of crystals. And I wear it around my neck all the time. And of course, pink quartz is a stone that resonates with the heart chakra, and I wear it sitting on top of my heart chakra. And then I've got it with me all the time, so that if I actually wanted to ask a question, I find it particularly good for yes/no questions. Okay, so what you do with the pendulum is that you hold it, wrap it around your finger. Can you see how I've wrapped it around my finger? I'll make it a bit shorter. And I like to hold my hand under it. I prop my elbow so that my elbow is stable, and I hold my hand under it, and I first of all ask the pendulum to give me a yes, and it will move in a particular direction. Let me see if it's going to work. Yeah, there you go. Can you see the pendulum moving in that direction? That's a yes. And then I'll still it, and I'll say, give me a no. And the pendulum moves in the other way. Now that's all I usually do, but some people use a yes, no, or a maybe. And my one piece of advice about asking questions with a pendulum is sit with a piece of paper or a notepad on your in front of you, and write your question down, and then you use the pendulum and record the answer. My other piece of advice is don't use the pendulum for questions that are intensely emotional. So if you've just broken up with your boyfriend and you're brokenhearted and you're sobbing into your pillowcase, don't use the pendulum to ask, will your boyfriend come back to you, because you may get a distorted answer because you're feeling so emotional about it. Don't forget, we create our own reality, and we sometimes create the answer that we want to hear, not the one that's actually true. So if you're going to start off using a pendulum to get connect to your higher guidance, I would start off with questions that I wasn't emotionally attached to. You can use it for questions about your health. For instance, am I allergic to this food? Is this food, maybe it's dairy. Is this dairy good for me? Is this the right kind of food for me? So be careful how you're phrasing your questions when you do that. So that's number 1, pendulum. Beautiful. Number 2 way to connect with your higher guidance is reverse hand auto writing. So get a pen, and again, write down your question on a piece of paper with your dominant hand. Then with your non-dominant hand, write down the answer. It's obviously really difficult to write with your non-dominant hand, but you might be quite surprised about the answer that comes out, and that's because we are in the habit of cutting off our higher guidance by using our rational intellectual mind, and our rational intellectual mind is connected to our dominant hand. So when you use the other hand, you're more likely to connect to that other side of your mind, which is your imagination and your higher guidance. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to write your question on a piece of paper and slip it under your pillowcase at night and sleep on it. Now, you may need to be patient and leave that note under your pillowcase for a week or more, and I would take it out and I would read it every night before I went to sleep. I'd put it back under my pillowcase, and I would, try and hold it in my mind a little bit as I drifted off to sleep. Now, the answer may come in unexpected ways. So the answer could come in a dream. The answer could come in a hypnagogic state. So a hypnagogic state is when you're just going in and out of that sleep state. So how you're coming out of sleep in the morning and that you start to become aware of your body and your room around you, and that you're laying in your bed, but you're still in a trance-like state at that point in time. Often answers to questions can come while you're in that state. It might also come in the form of synchronicity. So it could be words of a song that pop out at you. It could be words out of a book or a magazine that you're reading. Somebody could say something to you. It could be just inspirational thoughts that pop into your mind that answer your question. So that's a good way of getting higher guidance. Okay, number 4. Now, trigger warning here. You may be triggered by what I'm about to say. So if there are any little snowflakes out there that easily get triggered, you've had your warning. Because number 4 is Ouija board. Here's my Ouija board. I have no problem with Ouija boards. Some people do, I don't. This is a really nice Ouija board that I got at my local bookshop years ago that I've had a lot of fun using. Ouija board's got a bad rap because of that movie that came out in the 70s, The Exorcist, where the protagonist in the movie gets taken over by a demon that first connected with her through the Ouija board. So Ouija board's kind of got a bad name. But I don't think that there's anything scary about them. But then I have had a belief, an intention for a very long time now that I am safe, that I have a bubble of light around me, of light and love, and that I am divinely protected by my soul, my guides, and my guardian angel. So I don't think that it's unsafe at all to use a Ouija board. If you're worried about that, just make sure that you never use the Ouija board alone, that you are using it with other people around you. I always think it's great to get 2 or 3 girlfriends together, have a few glasses of champagne and some nibbles, and play Ouija. That's a fun evening. And I've spent lots of great evenings doing that with girlfriends. When you're going to do that with girlfriends, all you do is you sit around the board, you join hands, you intend a circle of light around you, you speak the words that you are safe and divinely protected and no negative energies can penetrate this circle of divine light, and that you call on only beings of light and love, only beings of light and unconditional love who are 5th dimensional beings or higher. And in that way, you're going to keep yourself safe from those jokes to kite type entities that can sometimes come in and play jokes on you by giving you dodgy answers on the Ouija board. Also, just another tip is that I would be careful about the people that I use the Ouija board with. It's not a good idea to be using the Ouija board with anyone that has drug addiction, alcoholism, or psychosis of any kind, and that is because unwittingly, because of those issues that they're going through, they can sometimes attract negative entities to themselves and carry those entities around them where they go. So yeah, just be careful about those 2 things. But other than that, you can have a lot of fun with a Ouija board. Okay, number 5 is tarot cards. Here's my tarot deck. I've got several of these, but this is my favourite one of the moment. So this is the Universal Love Healing Oracle cards, Tony Carmine Salerno. So you can use tarot cards, you can use oracle cards. I would always pull 3 cards, so I would close my eyes and ask the question as I shuffle the cards. And then I would pull 3 cards, past, present and future, and I would lay those down in front of me, and then I would ask for guidance about how to interpret those cards, and that can bring you some really, really good guidance as well. Number 6 on my list is meditation. Meditation is a great way to get in touch with your higher guidance. Remember that our higher guidance has for a long time been called that still, quiet voice within. And so it's only by stilling the monkey chatter of our ego mind that we allow ourselves to hear that still, quiet voice within. And the ego voice sounds very loud and strident and is often filled with I'm not as good as everyone else, or I'm better than anyone else kind of thoughts, or fearful thoughts. And the messages from your still quiet voice will always be positive and life affirming, and they will say, come this way rather than don't go there, kind of thing. So that's when you can learn to trust it. So you might want to, again, sit down and write a question down on a piece of paper in front of you. Meditate for, 5 or 10 minutes is usually enough, and get yourself in a nice, still, quiet place and see if you can turn that monkey chatter of your mind off and ask the question and wait to see what happens. You could be shown an image, you could hear something, you could, often it comes to you in your own voice. So be aware of that. Often the answer sounds like your own voice, but it has a different quality to it. It has a different energy to it. So it's again a matter of practice. Once you practice with it, you understand that it's not actually your ego voice that you're hearing, but the voice of your own inner guidance, inner being, higher self, whatever you want to call that part of you. Number 7 on my list is dreams. Some people tell me, because I'm also a hypnotherapist and a past life regression therapist, so I'm into all that sort of stuff. And clients come to me and they say, oh, I don't dream. Well, if that were true and you weren't actually dreaming, you'd be locked up in a funny farm by now. We all need to dream, otherwise we go mad, because dreaming is the way your unconscious mind processes the things that happen to you in your life. You also return to spirit at night, so you could have dreams that are about other lifetimes, other focuses that you're concurrently experiencing when you're not in this body, and you can go back to your source self in dreams. So dreams fulfill lots of really important requirements for us to live our lives. So if you've been telling yourself that you don't remember your dreams, what you've actually done is programmed your mind to repress them. So remember that words are powerful. When you speak words, you cast a spell, if you like to think of it that way. The word spelling is about casting spells, isn't it? And if you look at the Bible, it says, in the beginning, there was the Word. So words are important. So remember that if you've been speaking words that say, I don't remember my dreams, what you want to start saying is, I remember my dreams. I remember all my dreams. I love dreaming. My dreams are really powerful. I have precognitive dreams. I remember everything that I dream when I wake up. And you want to say that continuously to yourself. Over a matter of weeks and months, and you will start remembering your dreams. And another good way to remember more of your dreams is to record the information of your dreams. Again, the act of writing something down impresses it on your own conscious mind. So you could write your dreams down when you wake up. You could leave your phone beside the bed, and when you wake in the night, you remember to dream. Just use the voice recorder on your phone to record the dream and listen to it later. The more importance that you place on remembering the dream, the more likely you're going to remember that dream. So everybody dreams. If you haven't been remembering your dreams, you've been repressing it. So how do you get in touch with your higher guidance in the dream state? Well, what you want to do is, again, have a question in mind. I would go to sleep repeating that question to myself and asking for answers. And then, of course, record your dreams, or just take notice of your dreams at the very least, and highly likely that that answer will come to you in a dream state. Again, it's not going to happen maybe in the first week. You've got to be prepared to be consistent with it, keep asking, and the answer will come. And number 8 on how to connect with your higher guidance is using your emotional guidance system. So your emotions are a way that your soul, your higher self, and your guides, your inner being, that deeper aspect of you, communicates with you. And so think of your emotions as like the GPS in your car. When you go in the wrong direction, the GPS in your car says, go back, you're going the wrong way. And your emotions do the same. So when you're having a positive emotion about something, it could be peace, it could be serenity, it could be joy, it could be interest, excitement, passion, love, whatever that positive emotion is, that's your inner being or your higher self going, yes, 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 yes. And when you're having a negative emotion about something, anxiety, depression, fear, resentment, blame, anger. That is your inner being going, no, no, don't go that way. Turn around and go back the other way. Okay, so it may be a behavior that you're engaging in. It could be a decision that you're making that gives you a negative response. It could be a story that you're telling yourself or thoughts that you're having, right? If your inner being or your higher self does not agree with the way you're seeing something, you'll get a negative emotion. A negative emotion means my inner being doesn't agree with me. So obviously I'm not thinking about this thing, or I'm not making a decision for my highest good. So that's another way of getting guidance from your guides and your higher self. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. If you want to connect with me, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please like this video. I'd love to hear a comment from you. Have you used any of the 8 ways that I've mentioned here to connect to your higher guidance? Have you used them? Do you have any feedback for other people that are trying to connect to their higher guidance? If so, please leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. I hope you've enjoyed my video today. It's been fun for me, and until we meet again.